the other day I had a bad day, and you know what makes a bad day better? Good weather. And so there's really no reason for me to be having bad days in spring this often. So you know what we're gonna do this week? We're gonna be reading outside in the good weather, because this week it's supposed to be quite nice, and we're gonna make use of that and just feel better and go on little like solo dates, get little drinks and stuff. Just my favorite activities. And two contestants that I'm definitely gonna be reading this week, or however long this is gonna take. It's gonna be The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I started this, but I only got like a couple of chapters in because at the time it wasn't what I like wanted to read. And then I also want to finish the Caraval trilogy with Finale. They're pretty different in size, but believe it or not, they have almost the same page count. The only thing that I will not be reading this week is crime or thriller, because that's just not the vibe in spring. So I'm gonna be reading probably like fantasy, romance, that type of those types of books. And outside counts anything from balcony to yard to in a park to in the city. It doesn't matter, just outside of my apartment, because I just want to really make use of the good spring weather, spend some time outside, read a little bit. And also reading outside is just so fun and I love it so much. And then also I'm gonna have good days whenever I'm outside and I read and I get like little like treats and drinks. So it's just gonna be a good time. Today we're actually gonna start on the balcony because I don't really want to leave like the grounds, my apartment grounds right now. So we're just gonna start out on the balcony. And yeah, let's just have a fun week reading together outside in the sunshine. It also smells so good out here. We have the mint and the lavender and they both smell so nice. And I think I showed this a couple of videos ago. I made this little like tiny mint plant and I just planted it into the pot and it looks like the transfer was successful. So we're gonna have another little mint thing soon. So we're starting a new book today, Dolly Alderton's Good Material. I finished The Cruel Prince and Finale, I think, yeah, already, and I'm gonna just do like a little wrap up at the end of the video how many books, like of all the books that I've read. But I have a feeling that this book is probably gonna make me cry. I don't know why, but that's just the feeling that I'm getting. I also took the like decorative pretty cover off because I was scared that I was gonna rip it. So yeah, it is also very pretty like this with the reflective red font. Yeah, let's get into it. I already started like the first, I think, 2 chapters last night, and I don't know, crying is just a feeling that I'm getting about this book. So let's see if I actually end up crying today or not, depending on how far I get, I think, because I think that probably like somewhere in the middle or like towards the end, I think it's gonna hit me, because the other book that I read by Dolly Alderton, Everything I Know About Love, and that was based on true events, so if she can use her fantasy, oh my god. So, but yeah, anyways, let's start this. Book update. I actually am gonna talk about this one a little bit as like I keep reading. I think the reason why I think it's gonna make me cry is because the main character is actually male, and I don't think I've ever read like a romance or fiction book with a male main character before, only like thrillers and stuff. And the male main character, how he like talks, and because he's like telling the story, he reminds me a little bit of Matt Haig's books, and those are always very emotional. And I don't know, I just imagine him looking similar to Matt Haig for some reason, and his books make me very emotional. So maybe that's it. There is no description of how he looks like, but I just envision him as somebody who kind of looks like Matt Haig. So that's why I think it's gonna make me cry. I am just a little bit, I think like 60 pages in. Yeah, around 60 pages, and it's going very good. I'm enjoying it very much. It's very different from all of the like fantasy and thriller books I've read, obviously, because it's I don't know if it's a romance book because they broke up like before the book happened, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So far so good. So this doesn't necessarily have to do anything with reading at all, but it's good for my mental health. Grocery store haul. I got the most beautiful flowers. I think they're called peonies, I'm not quite sure. I am obsessed with the colors, and they were only €5. Also got some boba, but it's almost empty. But this, like, when this was full, it matched with like the orange flowers, so that was amazing. And then my friends are coming over tomorrow, and I saw this on TikTok. I think it's a little bit last minute, but I want to make strawberry infused gin. So I got this glass that I'm gonna afterwards use for like noodles and stuff. But yeah, so I got the glass, and then obviously some strawberries and tonic water. I haven't had gin in forever, but the recipe on TikTok was actually strawberry and rhubarb, but I couldn't find rhubarb anywhere, and I think that strawberry and like rosemary would probably also be really good. But I'm only gonna put strawberry and gin in the glass because I don't know if everybody likes rosemary in their gin. But yeah, just one more time, look how beautiful these are. And I love the pink ones, like that they're not completely orange. They also had red ones, but I'm just obsessed with this color, and I'm gonna try to make them last very long. And yeah, I love them. I'm back in the car now. This was such a fun day. So I got here, I was supposed to meet with my friend at like 3, and I got here about an hour early because I wanted to do a little bit of reading. And I love Good Material by Dolly Alderton so far. It's so good. I don't know actually if it will make me cry, but my theory that the main character reminds me so much of Matt Haig is definitely true. Enjoying the book very much so far. And then we just had the best dog walk date ever. The dogs are getting to know each other finally a little bit. My dog doesn't really play, and the other dog is very young and playful, and I'm still hoping that my dog is gonna, you know, play with him a little bit. But it was so much fun. The weather was so good today, and then we just had some ice cream, and I just love days like these, you know, just hanging around doing like everything but nothing. I'm in such a good mood now. And also look how tan I've gotten. I don't know what happened here, like there's a little patch that's just not tan, but I feel so good. And I'm gonna go back home now, eat something, and then I'll see you the next time that I'm outside. It's currently 6:30 and the sun has not set yet. I'm so happy. I am out here with my current favorite meal, potato and cucumber salad. I got my book. We have the sun. I am so happy. This is the best time of the year. Alright, so these are all of the books that I ended up getting through. The weather, unfortunately, is looking a little more thunderstormy for the next couple of days to a week, so I won't be reading outside that much. But I thought we could just go over the books really quick, what I thought of them. I do have some notes because it's been a while. And I love it. This was so much fun. I think it took me almost 2 weeks to finish all of them, which was perfect because I just love, as I've mentioned, spending time outside, reading outside, and for it to be so warm in spring, like in early spring. Perfect. 10 out of 10. But yeah, let's get into the books. So let's start out with The Cruel Prince. This is the first part of the, I think, Folk of the Air is like the name of the series. So this is the first part. 4 stars. I loved it so much. The world is so beautiful, and I usually don't like books where I have to think all like too much because I just want to, you know, have like a nice fun time. But the politics in this and like the plotting against each other was so good, and I am so excited. I'm kind of right now debating if this should have been a 5-star book. Maybe I'll like put it as 4.5 in my like what's it called, Notion thing, because it was really good. Some parts were a little bit boring, but I also have to say I listened to a couple of chapters as audiobooks, and those were the chapters that I didn't enjoy as much, so maybe that's my fault. But yeah, 4 to 5 stars, really good. And then I actually wrote down 2 quotes that I really loved. I started doing this also because of my Notion, because I have like a little questionnaire for each book. So the first quote is, "Our life is the only thing we have, our only coin, and we get to buy whatever we want with it." And I think that's so cool. And then the second one is, "If I can't be better than them, I'll become so much worse." And I think that's a prediction of the rest of the series, probably. Then we have Finale. This is the 3rd part of the Caraval series. Unfortunately, this book was the weakest out of all 3 of them for me. It's a 3-star book because I just really still enjoyed the series. I really liked that you got both of the sisters' views in one book. It felt a little less that they like should just communicate with each other, because you know that they both like know what they're like thinking and talking about. But I do have to say that it's a little bit, it was kind of long sometimes, but it was also kind of rushed, and there were a lot of kind of like side plots, subplots, I don't know, and so many things happening that it got a little bit confusing. But then also things like the relationship of Scarlett and Julian was just like a side thing, but for me I think that should have been like a little bit of a bigger thing. And so that it like jumps a little bit, and that was a little bit weird for me. So that's why it's only, I guess, 3 stars. It's still good, and I still love the cover. But yeah, the weakest out of the series for me. I just enjoyed the first part so much more because of the Caraval games. I just think that the games are like what makes this series so unique. And then I think in the second part the games are kind of like a side plot thing, and then here there's no games at all, which I thought was so sad because I just enjoyed that very much. Okay, moving on. The 3rd book that I think I love this one the most out of all of them is Dolly Alderton's Good Material. First of all, cover. Love it so much. Picked it up because of the cover, honestly. And also because I read Everything I Know About Love and I was obsessed with that book. 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was very emotional. I was frustrated with the male main character a lot just because I feel like he's very whiny. But it was also very interesting to read kind of a more or less romance book from a male main character's perspective, because I've never had that before. And I especially loved, I know this is contradicting with what I just said, but I especially loved that at the end you get another person's perspective, and that's one of my favorite parts, I think, because that was so comforting to read as somebody in their 20s, or I guess in this book 30s, who is slightly confused with life. And I think that was just very, it makes you feel like you're not alone, even if it's a fictional book. It's just really good, and I just love this very much. Can definitely recommend. And the last book, I actually didn't finish this, but I already know my rating. Percy Jackson, part 5. I love the Percy Jackson series as a whole, and I've read these when I was a kid, so I know what happens. For me, this part, the 5th part, is sadly also the weakest one for me. 3 stars, still good, still love everything about the whole series, but this one is just a little too much war for me. But I also see that it's necessary, like that ending had to happen because I don't know, that's just what it was built up, the whole series. But I just enjoyed like the friendship parts a little bit more than just straight up war. But I am so excited to get the 6th part, the newest part, soon. And I think what I've read is like Percy in College or something. And I'm so excited. I'm just waiting to get the like paperback as well instead of the hardcover, because I want this, obviously the 6th part, to fit with all of my other paperbacks, and I'm so happy that they let me show you. So this, I don't know if you can tell, but this is the cover of the 6th book, and I am so happy that even though so much time has passed, they are making the exact same version of the cover. And yeah, I'm just waiting on the paperback so it will fit with all of my other books, because the hardcovers are a little bit bigger. But yeah, these are all of the books that I got through. I am in such a good mood now. I'm so much better than before in February. I feel like February is just like the last stretch of winter, and it just sucks and I don't like it, and so I'm very happy that spring is around. My favorite day out of filming all of this was, I think, the first day when I actually decided to start this, when I had like boba and I was sitting like on the river, and then the other day I was staying outside under this pink tree full of flowers, and it was so beautiful, and my dog was with me, and it was just such a fun time. So I also loved that day and all of the others too, obviously. But yeah, if you're in a bad mood, I highly recommend just spending some time outside and getting like a little treat, and then doing something that you like, whether it's reading or, I don't know, watching a YouTube video or listening to a podcast or an audiobook, whatever. Just being outside in the sunshine always makes the biggest difference for me, and yeah, I just feel so much better now. This was the perfect thing to do in this like time of the year. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.